All right, nice little wire pickup from one of our electricians. We'll get that separated, and I might even be able to get it into the non-ferrous yard tomorrow. All right, we've got us some sorting to do here. I love sorting, it's so much fun. I've done a little bit of a pre-sort here. You can see there's Romex stacked up and the bird nest full of number 1 and number 2 insulated. There's some aluminum insulated. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is taking these short pieces of Romex that I found and just pulling out whatever's left in. This comes from an electrician, so when his guys are on the job site and they got cutoffs and stuff like that, so sometimes the Romex outer sheath is empty, sometimes there's one core left in there, sometimes all the cores are left in there, so I'm just getting those straightened out right now. Romex is just the brand name for the cable that has multiple cores in it. There will usually be one bare core for a ground and 2 or 3 insulated. You can get number 1 insulated for each wire. Romex is its own category, and then of course the bare wire inside here would be bare bright. I have found out that for me, it's really not worth the time for me to strip this down. They pay me well enough for Romex that by the time I factor in my labor, I might as well just sell it as Romex. Got a little bird nest going here. And this is all going to be number 1. So that makes it easy. Number 1. If you're new to scrapping, or perhaps you've just moved to a new location, the grading of insulated copper wire is really dependent on the way your scrapyard buys insulated copper wire. My yard categorizes it as number 1 insulated, number 2 insulated, and bare bright, which is not insulated copper wire, of course. Some scrapyards have categories where they separate it by the percentage of copper versus insulation. Of course, either way is a judgment call. It's not as if you're going to actually sit there and measure the insulation versus the copper in order to do the numbers for the 45% or whatever your yard is asking for. So it's a judgment call when you look at the thickness of the insulation relative to the copper that's inside. And you know, sometimes there's borderline wires that could be one or the other. You'll get to know your yard, they'll get to know you, and you'll get better at identifying number 1 versus number 2 or whatever the categories are that your yard takes the more you do it. Don't be afraid to ask your yard questions, how they grade things, why they grade them, the way they grade them. They want you to learn so that it speeds up the process when you bring wire in. So that could be stripped, get that nice copper out of the inside of this, and my strip meister will go through that with no trouble at all. The age-old question, to strip or not to strip. So much of that decision comes down to the tools you have, the time you have, and why you're scrapping. If you're a hobby scrapper and time is not important to you, then you probably want to strip any number 1 that you come across because you'll probably get more money for it. If time is a factor, then it comes down to the tools that you have to make your wire stripping efficient enough that it's worth the time to strip the wire down to get at the copper. Ooh. That's a nice big coil there. That's going to be number 2. You can see it's all floppy. But I'm going to cut an end off and check it just to be sure. And we've got our Romex here. I always have to be careful with these guys with the Romex because sometimes it'll be empty pieces, sometimes it'll be partials like you saw me working one. And they frequently leave
Bear Bright mixed in with the Romex, just the way they've cut it and dealt with it. So
now, if you have a mechanical or a powered wire stripper, one of the challenges is that if the lengths of wire are too long, they can get twisted up, or it can't pull the wire through when it's stripping it. So frequently, you need to cut the wire into manageable lengths. Manual cable cutters are fine, especially for Romex. They work without any trouble at all. But after a while, that can get kind of hard. That can get hard on the hands. So made an investment in a new power wire cutter. So this is a DeWalt power tool. It's designed for electricians to use on the job site, so it's portable. And as you can see, it goes through this Romex without any trouble at all. We'll see what it does with the rest of this wire.
this aluminum wire, I want to see how well we cut it. Let's see how she does. Oh, sweet. That's nice. This strips pretty easily, and my yard will give me extruded aluminum for the aluminum wire, but I'm also saving up some of this for eventual casting experiments. Oh, that's copper. Let's see how it does on the big old thing of copper. Oh, yeah, baby. All right. Oh, that is so sweet. Then I could cut this into, I'm gonna do it right now. This is number 1, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into some really manageable lengths.
I tell you something that would be really nice that for this tool is if it had a quick release, so I didn't have to use the power drive to open the jaws back up again. I haven't found a quick release on it anywhere. The manual doesn't say anything about a quick release, so that is just one drawback. But otherwise, I am really enjoying what this thing can do. In the past, cutting this wire would have been really difficult. Now I just power right through it.
Oh, that is so nice. That makes my job so much easier. I love that tool. All right, let's see.
As you can see, I really like this tool, and it's going to be very useful for me. I'm sure it'll be useful for you. So I've added it to my Amazon store. If you're interested in purchasing it or any of the tools that I use, there's a link down in the description below to take you to my Amazon store. Once you click on that link, no matter what you buy from Amazon, I will get a little commission from it, which is cool because I use that to help with our shark research donation. I'm going to finish getting this wire ready to take into the non-ferrous yard. How about if you check out these links that are taking you to more awesome shark scrapper content? Oh, and the round one in the middle, that's to help you to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. We'll see y'all on the next one.